It's a well-known fact. We have asked many people, and none of them are able to produce even a single Christian who has memorized an entire book, let alone the entire New Testament. Gods have wars in the Greek mythology, in the Hindu mythology. Wherever you have polytheism, you have this problem of gods having wars with each other. In monotheism, we don't have this issue.
If you ask about any verse from the Quran, it will be the same for him and for me. Although there's like a century difference between them, but it's the same, which is the proof that the Quran has not been changed since a lot of actually since it came down. No, it actually has. The Bible I read when I was 12 years old and the Bible I read today, there are two different Bibles.
They're translated.
Exactly. So when I speak Urdu and you speak English, right? We have different words in both the languages. I cannot translate it literally, exactly, word to word. That is one reason why Quran has not changed its language since it was revealed. Is because if people change it in their own languages, the message will change automatically. So when we say that Bible has changed, we don't say that because people change and everything. It is because when people translate it in different languages, the literal meaning of the words change and the message changes in the end.
Okay, but
that's the reason.
The aim 500 years ago, Martin Luther translated the Bible to make the people
I just told you there are so many words that should not be
right, but the people didn't understand it either. If the priest told them in Latin something, people didn't understand. So Martin Luther came and translated it so the people understood the message, and it's quite interesting. It's more important for me that people know what they are praying.
Luther could help them translate, but not change the actual word of the book, right? He could have not changed the word of the book. So
he didn't want to,
even with the Quran, I'm not an Arabic person. I don't speak Arabic, right? But about it, nobody changed the Quran for me and then wrote it in Urdu. It's the same Arabic language, but it is on me to learn the Arabic language and also understand what's written in the Quran. This is purely to preserve the words of the Quran.
Also, each and every surah has its own tafsir. Tafsir is the context behind every single thing, every single text. So that is also one thing that. So the core message has never changed.
Who has written these messages?
Which is
some explanation about
Tafsir is the explanation by the scholar that it doesn't change the Quranic text. It's an additional book. That's not the Quran. It's not as the level of
but that's what our priests do. They read the Bible and explain it to the people in their words. It's like your commentary. So and this helps the people to understand what's said. So this is comparable.
But this is the Quran, right? For example, this is the Arabic one, the original one. That tafsir is another book. This is not changed. This is the same, but that's another book.
Okay.
So this remains the same.
We have the old Bible is still existing, and you can read it if you know Latin words.
Then what's the point of New Testament? What's the need of New Testament? The New Testament. What's the need of that if the Old was reading?
Because the time is going on. It's different stories.
No, I mean it should be the same for all the ages, right? But they changed, like they had a New Testament, right? What's the point of that? If the old is present, wasn't need of
No, there was something happening in our belief, in the Christian belief. They say there was Jesus Christ, and it was not the content of the Old Testament. So they said it's interesting, it's important to write it down. So this is the New Testament. It was written because there was something important happening to tell. That's it.
No, but the thing is, it wasn't written down when Jesus was present, though, was it?
It was afterwards.
It was afterwards.
Yeah.
Then there was I think the message Jesus gave wasn't complete by itself, that you had to add new things in it. The message that Jesus brought was complete and full by itself, right?
But the people wrote down what Jesus said. Like your prophet said something and people wrote it down, but sometimes...
And what was the need to add or change and then make New Testaments about it? If whatever Jesus said was written exactly, then what was the need for New Testament?
No, the New Testament is the story of Jesus. The Old Testament was before then. The whole world was created and anything. It was before.
But then what was the need of the New Testament when Jesus was already there and the book was already written? And then after him, what was the need of changing and adding new things?
Because something very important happened. And people wanted to...
What important happened after Jesus that had to change?
Jesus Christ was on earth. And this is the story out of the Old Testament. The Old Testament tells a story about creating the world and whatever. And then there was something important happening. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, was on earth and people told about it. So let's use the story.
But isn't it a bit, sorry to interrupt, isn't it a bit odd, like for all those centuries, people did not understand God as three persons. And then all of a sudden, after centuries, there's a new preaching that God is not just one now, he's like three persons. Isn't that a contradiction?
God is still one and he's got a son.
Sorry?
Jesus Christ is God's son. There's still one God.
No, when you say God's son, now, as Muslims, we believe that God doesn't require a son. Why does God require a son in Christianity? Can God not be independent without a son?
It was like to get in contact with the people.
Are you saying God cannot understand unless he becomes a man?
No, the people can't understand. So he helped us.
No, people always worship God as a non-human.
Yeah.
So if you look at Moses, if you look at Abraham, if you look at Jacob, all of these prophets of God, they worship God without seeing him.
Yeah.
Okay, because in the Old Testament it says you cannot see God and live.
Yeah.
So the question now is, why has this now completely altered in the New Testament, where it says God has to become a man?
The story is that most people didn't understand that. Maybe these prophets they understood, but most of the people they got a distance to God. They had a problem. So he helped them to understand, and he sent his son for us people to get in contact with it.
But does it not contradict the meaning of who God is? So, for example, if you say that God does not die, for example, and all of a sudden you see that God became a man and then he died by his own creation, does it not create a conflict in the understanding of what God is?
It was not God himself, it was the Son of God, Jesus.
Yeah, but Son of God is God.
I can't explain the person.
Do you not believe the Son of God is also God as a Christian?
No, it was God's Son.
Yeah, but God's Son, according to Christians, I don't know which type of Christian you are, but the Catholics, the Protestants, in fact, most of even the Eastern Orthodox, all of them, they worship Jesus as God, the Trinity, isn't it? The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Right, but God is still one.
They say God the Son, God the Father, God the Holy Spirit. That's how they say it.
Yeah.
So if he's God the Son, and he died by his own creation, whereas God never dies, you see where the conflict appears in the understanding of people.
I don't see the conflict, because it's like a sign to get in contact with human people.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For all these generations, people worship, and it's not just the prophets. You know, Abraham's followers, Moses' followers, Jacob's followers, they had lots of followers.
Yeah.
They all worship God as someone who's not human.
There are lots of followers, but more people didn't believe at this time anymore.
Yeah, but even today, majority of people don't believe God is a man.
Yeah.
Majority of people. So what difference has it made? Most people today don't believe God is a man. Do you agree?
From the story, he sent his son to understand the feeling and to worship to God.
So you're saying unless God becomes a man, we cannot understand him? Is that what you're saying?
No.
So God can be understood without him becoming a man?
He helped. Some people understood it by himself, but most people not. So he helped him.
Okay, so
Get in contact.
you know this is very similar to the Hindus. They believe the same thing. They say unless God comes down as an avatar, as a human, we will not understand him.
I have one question. So
Yeah.
you mentioned that the priests help you to deliver your message to God.
Yeah.
So what's the point of Jesus, God becoming Jesus, and then that's easier for you to contact him, right? Then why do you need a priest? there's a priest, he contacts God, and then you pray to each other.
هذا علم فلسطيني.
I am in direct contact with God. I'm a Protestant, and the priests just help me to find the right words and to do the right things. They help me, but the contact is direct. In the Catholic Church, it's on the way. You have these holy people, and you pray to them, and they pray to God. But I'm a Protestant, and there's a direct connection to God. Protestant. So you just said I need the holy people and the angels in my religion, in the Protestant religion. You don't need them. You talk to God directly. So it's.
You mentioned that you have to go to the priest to say.
No, not the Catholics, the Protestants. So he's a Protestant.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Catholics need to go to the priest.
Catholics go to
Yeah.
the priest and they pray to
Different denomination.
Yeah. No, the Protestants.
He doesn't, the Catholics do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you mentioned it earlier that you go to.
No, it's a Catholic. It's a Christian, but the Catholic.
Different denomination, yeah.
Yeah. And they don't, because their Bible is not translated, they don't understand what they pray because it's Latin and in a language that they don't understand.
No, now they use English, so everyone understands. Everyone's got, you don't speak Latin, you don't speak Greek, so they have to translate this. But I think what the sister was telling you earlier, as Muslims, we can always go back to the original Quran, which is in Arabic, in the original language in which it was revealed. What language do you think Jesus got the revelation in, or what language did he preach to his people in? Do you know?
It was written down in Hebrew.
No.
What was it?
His language was Aramaic. Yeah? So Aramaic language, we don't have any manuscripts today from the early centuries of Christianity. So even the original language has been lost as far as the Gospels are concerned. So all you have is like copies of copies of copies. And if you speak to the people who are experts in the New Testament manuscripts, like Dr. Bart Ehrman, he'll tell you there are so many differences amongst the different manuscripts. There are as many differences as there are words in the Bible.
Okay, but you told me that the Quran was written down from people who heard the word of God and they memorized and wrote it down sometimes. And that's the same way.
No.
People understand something and write it down.
We have two modes.
So there can be some.
It's not the same. I'll tell you why. We have two modes of preservation. The primary is always the oral mode. So memorizing the Quran from cover to cover. We have children as young as 6 years old who have memorized the Quran. And every Ramadan, once a year, the Imam of the mosque in most places around the world, including here in England, in Europe, in America, in Australia, all the different places, they recite the entire Quran from cover to cover. And if the Imam makes a mistake, sometimes a child who can be like 6 years old, he can correct the Imam because he's memorized the Quran. He's memorized the Quran. Yes. Yeah. So, brother, you're blocking the cameras. Yeah. So, what I'm saying is that if you have this kind of preservation of the Quran, okay, you have this kind of preservation where you have even children who have memorized it. So, if anybody makes a mistake, they can. Like nursery rhymes, like Jack and Jill or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. If somebody says that and they make a mistake because so many people have memorized it, they can immediately say you have made a mistake. Similarly, we have the same concept with regards to the preservation of the Quran. Even though the language is not Arabic, the first language, because only 20% of the world are Arabs. The rest are non-Arabs. So the majority of the people who have memorized it are non-Arabs. But you don't have such a concept in Christianity. Have you ever come across anyone who's memorized the entire New Testament, for example? Or even one book of the New Testament, without looking, they can say it.
Maybe there's many people who have thought a lot about it. So
they have written about it, but not memorized. So they can.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a well-known fact. We have asked many people, and none of them are able to produce even a single Christian who has memorized an entire book, let alone the entire New Testament.
Very old, and they were remembered all the time. Like you said, in Latin language, people spoke.
No, they wrote it down. That's why we have so many manuscripts, and even the manuscripts differ from one another. But in Islam, we have manuscript preservation, we have oral preservation, and both of them agree. Doesn't matter which part of the world you go in, they will recite it exactly the same.
The most important thing is it is preserved in the original language.
Yeah.
The language didn't change. But for you, the language changed. Obviously, if you translate from Arabic to English, the words would change, the meaning would change sometimes. So that's the same with Bible. So it wasn't, you don't know the exact language, the same words of when it was revealed the first.
But that only happened like 500 years ago, 1,500 years ago. The Bible didn't change. It was a revolution that Martin Luther translated something. Before that,
What language was it in? Let's see if you know that. What language was it in?
different languages.
Exactly, but what was it? It was not in the original language. That is the point we are making. You see what I mean? So when when you translate from one language to another language, there's something in English we say lost in translation. And this happens in all languages. Yeah. What language do you speak?
German.
German. So if you translate from German to English, I'm sure the vocabulary of German is much higher.
Definitely.
Yeah, compared to English. Compare that to Arabic. The Arabic vocabulary is like, you're talking about millions of words compared to a few thousand in English. So there's no way you can translate accurately. Yes, but we have the English translation which gives you the near meaning. That doesn't mean that we cannot understand the Quran. But what we have is we can always fall back to the original Arabic with regards to the Quran. But in Christianity, you cannot fall back to the original because you don't have the original language. You see, that is the key point we are trying to make.
Okay.
So we have the original language, we have the preservation, we have even to this day, you go to anywhere in the world, you'll have people memorizing the Quran. So we have this alive to this day. Now, there are many things as far as even the theology is concerned, which makes a huge difference between what Jesus would have preached and what the Christians believe. For example, do you know that Jesus worships God?
Yeah.
Yes? Do you know that the Father never worships Jesus?
Maybe.
Not maybe, definitely.
Okay.
Because he's the Almighty God. Jesus says, I go to my God and your God, my Father and your Father, my God and your God in John 20:17. So Jesus identifies his Father as his God. Now, if you have someone like Jesus who worships a God, then how can you as a Christian worship Jesus? Are you with me? If there's only one God, you cannot have Jesus saying that he worships God and at the same time you Christians say that Jesus is God. It cannot work unless you're a polytheist, unless you believe in more than one God. You with me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that you and I believe that God is one, right? We are monotheists, that God is only one. Do you agree?
With the difference you just told them, I think there was Jesus Christ coming down as God's Son and helping the people to get in contact.
Yeah, but
That's what I told.
Okay, but
no, you believe God's Son is God. Do you not?
No.
No? Okay, maybe you go to a different church. You're not a Protestant then.
I'm not in religion. I'm not.
Okay,
thinking
fair
about
enough.
religion all day. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Many things you.
Have you read the Quran anytime?
No.
No. Maybe you want to take it as a gift?
I don't know. Thank you. No.
just
No?
read it with an open mind. If you understand anything, take it. If you don't, just leave it.
You know, we read the Bible. We keep an open mind. We read the Bible. Why would you not read the Quran?
It's a big book. I don't read the
Just read
Bible
whatever you
anytime.
like from it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait. It's smaller than the Bible. It's much smaller than the Bible. Have you seen a Bible that small? Never. Bibles are that big.
I have one, yeah.
Yeah, but it's much
very
bigger.
Small. I have a small one like
even,
this.
Even the verses are like this small.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you could read whenever you want, and you just read. It's not like we're not forcing
Yes.
you.
Okay.
But if you like,
Alhamdulillah.
you could just take
You
it,
Muslim?
read it.
Stop smoking that. No smoking. Not good.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm in the middle of discussion. So what I'm saying, brother, is this. Look, if, we are all going to die one day. Yeah? One day, we're all going to die. Would you not like to keep your options open and investigate the different monotheistic belief and then come to the conclusion that this religion is the truth rather than you just following your forefathers? Do you not think you should study and investigate other beliefs which also say that God is one?
Okay, I'm not that religious. Like for me, it's okay. If I'm dying, it's okay for me at the moment. question is not that necessary. Like,
What do you think would happen if you die? Like after you die, what would happen to you? Do you think is there a life after death or no? No? If there is or there is
no, there's not. It's maybe in the minds of some people which when I get in contact with people, you might think of me, if I'm dying tomorrow, you might think of me, that's something like that. That's okay for me.
Okay, so you believe
But I don't like the promise of something, I don't understand that. I could be this or that way. It doesn't matter for me
So
so
you
much.
believe that you'll just die, this is like your last life?
Do you not believe in hell and heaven?
Yeah, for example,
You don't? No. So you're not a Protestant? Because Protestants believe in hell and heaven.
Yeah, I'm not so religious.
Okay, so you haven't studied even the Bible, I'm assuming.
Not that deep.
Okay. But have you not heard from your church the priest talking about heaven and hell?
Yeah, sure.
You have?
But I don't believe it.
Whether, look, you know, like, whether I believe Antarctica exists or not, it's still going to exist, right?
Yeah, right.
So whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. The
Yeah.
question is this: if we die, and we are going to die, that is certain.
Yeah.
The only certainty we all have, whether you believe in God or not, is that one day we are going to die.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now, when we die, and then God is going to judge us. Yes, are you not worried that you might be judged to go to hell instead of heaven?
I don't know what's happened there, and I'm really. It's something that I don't understand. Like my mind is not so big that I can think about what happens, and it's okay for me. I have my role in this world. This is what I can get. This is my life, and it ends at one time.
So what do you think is your role in this world? What is your
To be a good human in this time.
Yeah, but
in this time,
Yeah.
it's in my power to be a good human.
good human, according to everyone, is different.
Yeah.
What might be good for you might be bad for another person.
Right, right.
So it's subjective, isn't it?
Yes, right.
Okay, so who decides what is good and bad?
The rules in our society.
God decides.
Well, yes.
Do you agree? God decides who is good, what is good and what is bad.
But you have an idea of God, and I have got an idea of God. So
That's the reason
we can think about two very different things that are good or not good.
No, you're absolutely right. So that's the reason I read the Bible.
Yeah.
And I also read the Quran.
Yeah.
So I don't just assume that your religion is wrong
Yeah.
because you're a Christian. I base it on evidence. I read it and then I say, okay, this and this is contradictory, or this is wrong, or this is not what God says.
Yeah.
For example, I believe God does not die. Yeah? The Christians believe that God died for your sins. You see what I mean?
The Son of God, yeah.
Yeah, I know you,
But God
because
himself-
you haven't read the Bible, that's why you're making this assumption is the Son of God. But the reality is this, that God does not die. Okay? And according to the Bible, the Son of God is God, according to your own Bible.
But this reality is too high for me. I don't understand it, and I can explain it. So I don't.
You know, there's
I
a,
don't say it is like that or that
Yeah,
because I don't understand.
so ignorance is not bliss. Just because you want to remain ignorant about something doesn't mean the reality will change.
The reality is something that I don't understand in the whole way.
Yeah.
So,
But unless you
I
read-
don't go to judge about it.
No, unless you read about it, you will not understand.
Right.
So, we offered you the Quran.
Yeah.
You, by your own volition, just said, I don't want to read it. Now, this is called by your own choice, you said, I don't want to read it. Which means you have not looked for another possibility of being saved in the hereafter. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because, when you're standing in front of God and God asks you, why did you not read the Quran?
Yeah.
And you say, I chose not to read. Doesn't mean that you will go straight to heaven because of that. Because you're choosing, for example, when you at your workplace, if you break a rule of your employer and you say, I've never read the guidebook, they'll say it's your fault.
Yeah.
Isn't it? They're not going to say, because you did not read it, I'm going to forgive you for the breaking the rule. As soon as you join the workplace, they tell you these are the rules, you have to read it, or you have to know about it. You cannot make an excuse, I didn't know about it.
But God didn't tell me that I have to read this book and this book and this book.
How do you know that? Have you read the Quran? God tells you. So
in the Bible, there's something different, and it doesn't matter.
yeah, but the Bible is not the only book.
No, right.
So what you need to do is instead of
advising you every time.
instead of by the way, this guy is a troll. He's a troll.
But it doesn't agree
So
with him.
if the Bible tells you something,
Apostate must be
then you should believe in the Bible. But the Bible, if it's wrong, then you're going to put yourself in a huge predicament now, because you put all your eggs in one basket. You see what I mean? You put all your faith in only one book.
Yeah.
But if that book,
you yourself as well.
no, I read the Bible. Remember, I told you.
Yeah.
I told you the Bible. I read.
Yeah.
And the Quran also I read, and then I made a judgment.
Yeah.
Call.
There's many other options.
Yeah, I've read Hinduism.
Yeah.
I've read about Buddhism, about Christianity, Judaism, Islam, obviously. Yes. And then you make your judgment. But if you're going to put all your faith in only one book, because your parents obviously might be Christian, yeah? Or you come from a Christian background, so you think that only that is right. But the question is this: if that is wrong, then what are you going to do on the day of judgment?
Well, I don't know what happens at this time, and I'm fine with it.
You won't be fine then. It's like the example of the employer I gave you. Just because you didn't read the guidebook, he's not going to say, okay, you're off the hook now. He's going to punish you for breaking the rule. Similarly, God, by the way, it's not very different to the Bible. The conditions are the same. If you disobey God, then God will punish you. And if he chooses, he can also forgive you, okay, depending on the kind of sin you make. But the question is this: if you haven't read it at all, you won't know the rules. So do you think you should read, in order to acquaint yourself with the knowledge to be able to save yourself in the hereafter?
In the big world, there's so many things to read and to know and to learn.
I agree.
I myself can't learn all this.
Yeah.
It's too big for me. So there are things that I don't know, and this is okay for me.
Okay, I agree with you. There are many religions in the world, thousands maybe, okay? But I'll give you a shortcut.
Okay.
The shortcut is this: investigate the religions which claim that God is one. Monotheistic religions, not polytheism.
Why?
Does polytheistic God make sense to you?
I haven't thought about that.
Okay.
But many people have.
Yeah, of course.
Like that, and it's one way to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, many people can be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll give you a quick exercise to show you why polytheism is wrong. Imagine there are two gods, and they both have equal power. Okay? Can the gods do something that opposes the other god's will? For example, imagine there's this tree here. Yeah? One god, he's all powerful, has the same power as the other god, and he says, I want that tree to be green. The other god says, no, I want it to be red. What color will the tree be?
The Greek goddess, they had rules in themselves, and they even had a hierarchy themselves. So they organized it. They fought about these things when they're two gods with two different opinions, and they found a way.
They had wars. Did you know that?
Sure, yeah.
Gods have wars. In the Greek mythology, in the Hindu mythology, wherever you have polytheism, you have this problem of gods having wars with each other. In monotheism, we don't have this issue. Do you see what I mean? That's why one god
But this is a
makes more
problem,
sense.
But does it make more sense? I don't believe it.
Do you think gods having wars make sense?
Why not?
Why not? Because what's the difference between gods and us then? We have wars, God has wars.
The Greek gods, I don't believe the Greek gods, but they had superpower. It's something totally different to humans.
No. You don't believe in the Greek gods because?
I'm in another. I was grown up in another tradition. My parents told me another story.
So have you never used logic to understand why Greek gods don't make sense? Have you never used logical arguments?
Religion is not. My logic ends at one point, and religion is something stronger. I don't get this all together.
No, we don't.
I'm just a human being, and I don't understand the whole world.
I'm just a human being as well.
Gets together. There's something I don't understand.
No. There's a difference between blind following and following through understanding. There's a big difference. You know.
Hey, I'm not a strong believer. I'm not a believer in that way. So I'm not a follower of something.
Okay, anyway, I just wanted to show you why multiple gods don't make sense. Because if you have one tree and both gods are equally powerful, then we will not know what the color of the tree will be. Because they both have opposing wills.
Yeah, but if you talk about sense, even one God doesn't make sense. Why is he there or whatever? So
why does it not make sense?
Something that I don't understand.
Why does it?
I'm just a human being.
So why do you think it doesn't make sense? One God. Where do you think all this came from?
Maybe from physics.
No, physics is just explaining the naturalistic world.
Maybe
it doesn't tell you where.
Physics is the study of it, but maybe it's like accident or something.
Accident.
Can be.
So you think? Do you not see order in the universe?
I don't know the order of the universe.
No. Do you not see order in the universe?
There is order, yes. Sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
Now, do you not see design in the universe?
Yeah. But this is physics. This is like human thinking. What human think about of order.
No. Physics only explains the naturalistic world.
And the order of the universe that we can describe is human and it's physics.
Okay. Let
Maybe
me.
If there are some people around around the world, they are more clever than human beings. They have another explanation.
Let me rephrase the question. Whenever you see design, do you see intelligence behind that? Or is it random?
No.
There's intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Human beings.
No. Why?
I see human design and there's
even before human beings existed, design existed. Yeah. The cosmos, the galaxies, the planets, the stars, all of this we see design. Yeah. So even before humans existed, we see design. Now, design entails intelligence. So what intelligence? It's okay, don't worry, they're gone. What intelligence? What intelligence do you ascribe to when you look at the cosmos, for example?
In my words, in my intelligence, words and thoughts are my human.
No, we're talking about intelligence. We are talking about design.
Yeah.
We see design in the cosmos.
Yeah.
Where do you think this came from? Because if design implies intelligence, then the question is, where did this design come from?
Intelligence is the way that we translate what we see. The cosmos is something bigger.
No, I'm saying we see design in the cosmos.
We decide because we are part of the cosmos, and that how we try
even
to
before
explain all that. Before that, we don't understand the whole thing.
I'm saying even before we existed, there was design in the cosmos.
Sure.
So it doesn't.
Somehow.
So it's not something that is related to our existence.
Yeah.
It is something that existed before we existed.
Yeah.
So where did this design come from? That is the question.
I don't know.
Okay. Now when you say I don't know, that is not an answer. It is just an appeal to ignorance. That means you're saying I don't know. By the way, it is not wrong to say that.
Ignorance is something different for me. Like if I'm saying I'm just a human and I can't understand it.
No, but you can use logic. You can use reasoning.
I try human logic. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, human logic. I didn't expect
at some point I
alien
can't
logic for you.
explain it anymore. Yeah.
Okay, so
okay.
No, it's not about okay. It's about just because you can't explain it doesn't mean that there is not an answer.
Sure.
Okay, so if the universe itself, it had a beginning. Do you agree, by the way, that the universe has a beginning?
I don't know.
Well, the cosmologists do. Okay. Yeah, they talk about the Big Bang, for example.
Yeah.
One of the models.
Before the Big Bang was something.
They have no idea what was before.
We just learned that the universe is expanding
yeah.
together again.
Yeah.
So the Big Bang is one of these. there's a longer way maybe. I don't know. The Big Bang was the first.
The expansion of the universe is mentioned in the Quran 1400 years ago.
Yeah, she told me. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, this is something that only the creator of the universe will know. Because expansion was such that, before the model that the cosmologists used was a static universe. There's no change in the universe, it's static. But the Quran 1400 years ago already pointed to the expansion of the universe.
The Quran scientists were more clever than the Christian scientists, so they maybe knew something more earlier time.
Or God told them.
Maybe, yeah.
so that is one explanation as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm saying is that we see design in the simplest atoms. We see design in the most complex galaxies. Yeah?
Yeah.
All of this didn't just come up by accident. Because you know when you have design is normally not by accident. It is something which has a source as an intelligent source.
No.
So if I asked you, okay, did the microchip of a computer just come by accident? What will you say? You say yes or no?
The idea came by accident, maybe.
No.
The idea to create it like that.
No. Even the idea comes through a lot of experiments and so on.
Yeah.
A lot of.
But the first idea was maybe just an accident.
No, the ideas themselves, there's no such thing as having a design by accident. The design itself proves to us that there is someone who designed all of this.
Design is...
I'm surprised the Christian's having... he's having a question. Normally, this is the kind of discussion I would have with an atheist. But you're a Christian and you are not sure whether all of this came from God. I find that quite odd. But anyway, regardless of whether you're Christian or atheist, the question still remains. When we see design, we imply that there is a designer. Yeah. For example, if I were to ask you, okay, here is a computer program.
It's got a spirit.
Did the program come by itself, or was there a programmer?
A programmer, for sure.
Would you ever imagine the program came by itself, by accident?
No.
No. Why? Because we know that there is intelligence which goes into this.
Yeah.
Do you know that your DNA is much more complex than any program that you have seen? Your DNA is so unique and so beautiful in its structure, in its design, that no program in the world can compete with that. If a programmer is required to program something, where did the program in your DNA come from?
I don't know.
There you go. So when you say I don't know, I mean the question still remains, if there's a program in your DNA, would that program require a programmer as well?
I don't understand. So I can't give an explanation.
No, you studied biology in your school, right?
Yeah.
So you studied about DNA?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, you studied about the different structures of the DNA and so on. So we know that there is a code in there.
Yeah.
Yes? It's called the human genome. You heard of it, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the longest codes. It's got like billions of letters in it. Yeah? So even if I give you another example, for example, let's say somebody, what's your name? Jürgen. Okay, how do you spell it? Y?
J.
Oh, J, okay. J.
U with the 2 points on it in the German.
J-U-N?
R.
J-O-R. Okay, anyway. Let's say John, for example. Make it simple. If somebody wrote John on the beach, would you assume it came by accident, or would you say somebody wrote it?
Somebody wrote it.
Why not accident?
So this is something that I understand.
Yes,
even
because
the biology, and this is something that I don't understand.
So if this word, which is only 4 letters, it cannot come by accident. The longest word that is in your DNA, it's millions of letters. There's no way that can come by accident. And it is unique in every cell of yours. Okay?
My intelligence ends at some point, and I don't want to give an explanation. Maybe it's a God in there.
Actually, but
maybe
science gives us the explanation. That's why I took you
to that point.
Because you believe in science. So
Human science.
I took you through the route of science because you believe in science.
The science doesn't give an answer to that point. The science can't explain why a human being like me is on Earth. The science.
I agree. Science doesn't explain the why. Science explains to you the how. Like how, sorry, the what. What is this? What are you? What is the cosmos? So it explains the what, but it doesn't explain to you why it came. But all I'm saying is that all of this is not really an accident, because we see a lot of design, a lot of intelligence in our bodies, in the cosmos. None of this could have just come by accident. So all I'm saying is that look into it more seriously, because if we die and there is God and there are angels and there is heaven and hell and there is a day of judgment, then we should prepare for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
As intelligent human beings, we should decrease the risk, not increase it. By you saying that I will not worry about what's going to happen to me, you're increasing the risk, not decreasing it. As an intelligent person, you should always decrease the risk. That is logical, isn't it?
My intelligence ends at some point, and I'm working in this area that I can understand. And above, I can believe something, but I can't explain, and I don't want to explain because I don't know, and I don't tell anybody else what maybe I have an opinion, but I don't know. So I don't try to convince somebody else about something that I don't understand.
I think you're underestimating your intelligence. You have You have certain limits. We all do. Okay? But you're still underestimated what you can do as a human being. You can still study and get to know what you don't know, isn't it? That's all I'm asking. Anyway,
Trying to read.
yes, I'm glad you took the Quran.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Hopefully next time we discuss.
Hey, listen to me.
Jazakumullah khairan.
You said
Assalamu
you're a Christian.
alaikum
Why you
wa
gonna
rahmatullahi wa
do
barakatuh. Who's this guy on the
Doing
mic?
correct.
Well, I
So,
mean,
listen to me.
it's very
You know the
questionable,
history.
but answer.
Did cartoon come here with 99 different Quran?
Cartoon? Who's cartoon?
You know the history.
He's talking about some cartoon.
Did Jay Smith come here with 99 different Quran?